Today, we're talking about an IP that's an Xbox exclusive franchise that died in 2005. Today, we're talking about the snowboarding game Amped. Just a heads up, most of the footy will be from Amp 2, unless we're talking about Amp 3. And even then, I don't have a ton of Amp 3 footy because Xenia sucks. And Amp 1 is just, yeah. But anyway, not only was Amped one of the many exclusives the OG Xbox had, it was a launch title on the Xbox and a part of their Xbox Sports series of games, along with Lynx, Topspin, Inside Drive, and Fever. The Amp series, for the most part, is like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, but on snow. The first two games are pretty similar. You choose your level, which run you want, or which challenge you want to do, and down you go. Much like Pro Skater, there's gaps, high scores, photo scores, and even snowmen for you to destroy as part of your run. The challenges, for the most part, are the same from level to level, but have some slight variation, usually an increase of score for photos and high score. Photo shoots are exactly what they sound like. The objective is to go through every single ring and reach this total score given. These can take multiple attempts later on due to difficulty, or if you're like me and put most of your stat points into your ollie and big air, I end up overshooting the first couple of rings, and the challenge requires that you must hit them all. The sponsor challenges have you doing what the sponsor wants, whether that's big airs, off-axis rotations, long rails, etc. Keep them amped to the end of the run, and you're good to go. Pro challenges are where you follow the pros line and beat their score at each spot. You bail or don't beat their score, that's an X. 3 X's, and you gotta restart. Bail or don't beat the score on the final spot, instant redo. Overall, they're fairly easy, but I do find myself getting ahead of the pros at times, and that can cause some issues. And then there's contest, where you're ranked against other riders for your overall score and photo score, and you're given a time limit of 1 minute and 30 seconds. It really isn't that much different from what Amped already has you doing, it just adds other riders and a slight sense of urgency. Amp 3 is the only game in the series to be on Xbox 360, and it's like SSX on Tour, Captain and Casey show from Fuel TV, and early Riders Republic all put into one. And by that, I mean it kinda has that punk rockish and DIY feel, and there's more to it than just snowboards to ride. There's a few different sled options, like a toboggan, a snowmobile, and even a freaking hang glider. It's also the first game in the series to have a storyline with a cast of characters, instead of just having pros who hardly had any dialogue. But if Amp came back, what do I want to see? First of all, I think XSN should come back as a whole, but rebrand as XESN, Xbox Esports Network. I've got a few ideas about that I think would be awesome, but that's a video for another day. I'd call it Amped, but do a special edition called the Revamped Edition, which comes with mountains from the first two games and some exclusive customization items as well. I like the story aspect of Amp 3, along with this nonsense from the characters and the overall feeling of the game. It reminds me of the early 2000s skateboarding movie Grinded Away, just with not as much jackass/Viva La Banda humor in it. The main premise of the game will be the same like it is for most action sports games. Main character trying to make their way to the top, but it's the story in between the start and finish that's what's going to matter most. What craziness will the main character and their crew encounter? This way, we still get elements of the first two games by having pro challenges, contests, photo shoots, and sponsor challenges. We also keep what made Amp 3 an underrated launch title for the 360 that it is. I want to see the main character still be a custom character, amp up the customization options for him too. We need online, whether it's contests, free ride, or some of the other options that Transworld Snowboarding had in their game. We need a photo mode, but like I said before, every game needs a photo mode. Definitely keep the snowmen in it too. I enjoy their little clips. They're just funny to me. The soundtrack isn't all that memorable. I think they had a good mix of genres though, so I don't want it to stray from that. Just have a better track selection. Keep the sleds and the snowmobiles. Those were fun, and a nice little break from stomping lines on a board all the time. Snow skate needs to make a return. Hell, give us a snow scooter too. Scooters have been seeing resurgence the past couple of years anyway. Gotta have some pros. They had a really good mix of genders and nationalities in the first two. Let's keep it that way in this one. And of course, the mountains. As mentioned earlier, it would be cool to have a throwback pack as a DLC, ideally free, but I think having newer locations even across the world would be a nice touch. Maybe even have the HUD elements reflect that depending on the country we're in, or just make the HUD elements customizable. The extreme sport genre is slowly seeing resurgence, so hopefully we get something someday. But that's it for you, mate. Did you play Amped? What do you remember about it? Let me know.